From some of the strangest animal sculptures to bizarre works of art, here are 15 craziest statues ever built. Hey guys, this is your host, American Eye. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy that video. Number 15, the Wursa statue. This mesmerizing sculpture by French artist Daniel Furman is somewhat realistic. He claims that if an elephant were to reach an altitude of 11,000 miles above Earth's surface, it would be able to perform an acrobatic feat such as this. Luckily, it's a real statue and it's not an elephant about to fall. It was first exhibited in the Fontainebleau Castle, which is one of the largest chateaux in France. The elephant gained so much popularity that it began a tour, and in 2012, it was showcased in Vienna. Here you see the gravity-defying elephant sculpture that seemingly defies physics at the exhibit called The Circus as a Parallel Universe. Number 14, Giant Hand of the Desert. It almost appears as though a giant zombie is rising from the ground in the middle of the Atacama Desert in Chile. Located in one of the driest places in the world, it features a hand popping up in the middle of nowhere. This was built in the early 1980s, and apparently, hands rising from the desert was an actual obsession by the sculptor. Luckily, it's not a giant zombie that was buried and coming back to life. This is located near the Chilean town of Antofagasta, and measures about 36 feet high from the ground. Dry desert places are already pretty creepy enough, but then when you add a zombie hand to the mix, you might have to start running. Number 13, the Arc of Reunification. Maybe the entire time we've misunderstood North Korea and all they truly want is to unify Korea instead of dividing it. In 2001, the leader at that time, Kim Il-sung, erected this monument which features two women in traditional clothing holding up a sphere with the image of a unified Korea on it. What they probably don't want you to see is that it overlooks a road that seems completely abandoned. Others claim there's actually explosives inside the statue in case of an invasion, and the statue would be detonated, blocking the road for invading armies. Number 12, the Traveling Eyeball. This thing never blinks and it's certainly lacking eyelids. It's almost like it's always watching you, sort of like Facebook. The creepier thing about this is that it never stays in one spot. In this photo, it's in Chicago, and the next day, it could be outside your bedroom window, peeping through your little crack in the blinds. This is known as Tony Tasset's eye, and it's moved a couple times to different parks around the world. In this photo here, we see it's featured in Dallas, and this 30-foot eyeball kinda pops out, you could say. Tasset is specialized in fiberglass figures, and this could be another art installation from the Illuminati. There really seems to be no other explanation. Number 11, Wild Horse Monument. On top of a cliff in eastern Washington state, passersby might come across a beautiful monument that appears to first be wild Mustangs looking over the edge of a plateau. A total of 15 horse sculptures were made and are waiting for visitors to stop by to get a closer look. These were constructed in 1989, and they were made to honor a Native American legend that tells how horses were created. Made of thick steel plates, hiking up to the top offers breathtaking views of the Columbia River. This idea was first conceived by an artist in Spokane, Washington, Davis Gobader. Number 10, the Leshan Giant Buddha. Many are completely awestruck when they look at this massive, immortal 233-foot statue that was built sometime between 713 and 803. It was completely carved out of a cliffside in the Sichuan province of China near the city of Leshan. This photo shows how utterly massive this ancient carving is, and it shows how people aren't even larger than the tips of Buddha's toes. The Leshan Giant Buddha is the largest stone Buddha in the world and is the tallest pre-modern statue. Since the carving has been around for so long, it's been quite eroded by factors such as wind, rain, tourism, and the moss that grows on it. But first, we'd like to thank our subscribers for leaving us all these great comments recently. Be sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 9, MGM Lion Statue. By far the most notable animal statue in Las Vegas would be the MGM Grand Bronze Lion. This is clearly visible while driving down the world-famous Las Vegas Strip. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, a former owner of a movie studio in Hollywood, adopted the lion as their symbol and showcased it at his hotel too. The hotel needed a grand entrance to live up to their grand reputation. In 1993, the construction began on this iconic symbol. The majestic bronze lion is still there to this day, and it's the Western Hemisphere's largest bronze statue. It's about 25 feet tall and 50 feet long. This guy's no lightweight either, weighing in at 50 tons or 100,000 pounds. With 1,660 different pieces, the complex sculpture was finally installed in 1997, bringing on a new era for the MGM Grand. Number 8. Child Eater Fountain. This horrific-looking statue is located in Bern, Switzerland, and depicts a festively dressed ogre who'd been conveniently bagged up as leftovers. The true mystery about this statue is that no one really knows what the heck it's supposed to depict, and what the heck inspired this monstrous statue. It dates back to the 16th century, and it's been creeping out kids ever since. Kids in this town are really hoping they won't become the next victim of this thing. Some claim it's an anti-Semitic portrayal, while others claim that it's what happens to kids when they don't behave well before Christmas time. Number 7. Burke's Fall, Ontario. A Canadian artist by the name of Peter Kamani had a disturbing idea of building what he described as a forest. But instead of trees, he used 18-foot-tall cement screaming heads. Sounds peaceful, right? He wants this location to be an area where people dump the ashes of their loved ones, but it's really turned into a local tourist attraction that people want to check out on their own. In this photograph, from the angle it was taken, you can tell that hands were also constructed, and it seems to go well with the screaming heads. Number 6. Bregenz Festival Stage. The Vienna Orchestra is renowned for being one of the best in the world, and they get a play on this pretty crazy statue during a festival in Austria. The stage actually floats over Lake Constance, and the amphitheater is made to accustom 7,000 guests, which is quite large for an outdoor show on a lake. Contemporary artists get their chance to showcase some of their strange works, like we see with this guy. Number 5. Ghost Statues. Located in the Czech Republic, you'll be glad these next ones are just statues. Built in 1352, this church was home to many spontaneous fires, and it seemed like it always needed repairs. In 1968, the entire roof fell out of nowhere during a funeral service, and they decided to give up. In order to restore a little bit of tourism to the area, they repaired the church again, but decided to give it a twist. Ghost statues were added, which makes sense because the Czech people love just making things creepy. In all reality, it was done to symbolize the church's dark past and to symbolize how many have thought it's been cursed. Number 4. Olmec Ruins. The Olmec civilization predates the Maya and Aztecs, and they're known for some pretty crazy statues. On average, these stone heads weigh up to 8 tons each, and many believe they're actually the heads of former Olmec rulers. The Mesoamerican civilization dates back from 1200 to 400 BC, and they're signified by the statues they left behind. One question you have to ask yourself, however, why is it always the head they find and never the body? These heads are also often found wearing a protective helmet, which would make you believe that they were worn during battle or during ancient ball games. Many are wondering, where's the rest of the body though? Number 3. African Renaissance Monument. Here we see the largest statue in Africa, which is located in the country of Senegal. It looks over the Atlantic Ocean and stands out about 300 feet high. Made of bronze, this is no easy statue to put on the credit card. Many criticized the statue and felt that the $27 million price tag was a bit much considering how the money could help Senegal's infrastructure. Their GDP, however, has seen a decent increase in recent years, and maybe they hope to inspire a boost of morale to the African people. Number 2. Bulgarian Soviet Friendship Monument. Located in the province of Varna, this imposing Soviet statue stands tall and made of concrete. It's found right off the coast of the Black Sea, so it can be visible to incoming ships. The location of the monument also has historical importance to it. It was built on Turna Hill, which saw quite a bit of bloodshed, where the Russians launched an attack against the Ottomans in 1828. It takes 300 steps to reach the top of the monument and 160 feet across. The 4 sculptures you see here are of 4 Soviet soldiers who are coming to rescue 3 seemingly helpless Bulgarian women. And number 1. The Cabazon Dinosaurs. If you're driving from Phoenix to LA, there's no way you'll miss the Cabazon Dinosaurs in Riverside County, California. In order to attract more customers to a restaurant nearby, in 1964, a sculptor, Claude Bell, completed this construction of 2 dinosaur statues. Unlike some others we've mentioned on this list, you can actually go inside these statues and buy various gifts for your buddies. The T-Rex gets the nickname Mr. Rex, and the Brontosaurus gets the nickname of Denny. Denny's the one that's got the slide on the tail. Strangely enough, the guy who built them actually believed that dinosaurs lived with humans at some point in time, and various signs try to support his theory.